I saw a man, he was in a car. He called me, but I tried to ignore him.
We're supposed to go to UK for study from Afghanistan, because in Afghanistan, very terrorism, people is killing each other, so we three decide in Afghanistan we should go from this country to UK.
He told me that he liked my height and he wanted to sponsor me to South Africa. He wanted me to be a famous model.
Until we reach to this Zambia, we're supposed to go from this country by transit to UK.
He organized for an air ticket. Then after we arrived in South Africa, there were some men waiting for us. They drove us to a nice place.
So after this, my two friends was captured. I remained outside. Then after outside, the Zambian people did with me very bad, and also they got from me about 60 million kwacha.
So he insisted and he started kissing me. I tried to scream, no one came. He raped me and then he went away.
We come to this Zambia to pass this country, example of transit. So this too went in 25th March to airport. So they threw our own Afghan passport and they got Singapore passport. So they captured by immigration.
You'll be surprised that these things are happening within the country. But the problem that has been in existence that people have not come to accept because there are no statistics to bring that problem to surface. So therefore, the African Children's Project itself, is moving, doing the rapid assessment research, in particular the human trafficking and looking at the child in trafficking.
Even this too, my friend was in prison. This, my two friends was captured. I remained outside. Then after outside, the Zambian people did with me very bad, and also they got from me about 60 million kwacha.
You need to understand that Zambia is a landlocked country, and therefore it can be used for so many purposes. It can be used either for supply or for the demand. So there's a need for us to ascertain that trafficking. But also trafficking is not only from country to country, it's from town to town.
And most cases involve the immigration officers themselves not understanding this concept and therefore mistreating these children once they find them, whichever side of the border these children are. So I would have loved really to hear what the immigration department has to say and how exactly they are hoping to deal with this situation.
There are a lot of legal implications involved into child human trafficking, and it will be very, very difficult for you and me to identify whether this child traveling is being trafficked or not. You go to the borders, like the presenter said, they will have proper documents. Passports are there, visas are there, everything. And you can't notice that this child is being trafficked. There was an issue of saying, can we involve the airlines and the buses who are maybe doing that? To them, it's purely business. And they can't even tell you that, well, this child can't go because to them, they want to make money.
I want to find out what the police, since you have realized that they are using this, do you have a program in place which is also trying to ensure that you are monitoring this same organization?
Unless there is a complaint that there is this, that's when you involve Interpol. If we're saying, like the kids we got from Ireland, it was through Interpol. When the parents here lodged that complaint, because those people came back, those who took the girls came back and left the girls there. So there was that query now by the parents, where are our children? So that's when they involved, then we involved Interpol to trace what they were found, that kind of thing. Because there should be a complaint that there is this which is happening. And that's when Interpol move in and get those people. But again, who's going to pay for those kids to come back wherever they are? It's the government that, the government of, the original government, where those kids are coming from, they're the ones that are going to foot the bill, not Interpol. Because Interpol, they're just officers there who are under estates.
I was coming from the salon and I went to this eating place in town. I just wanted to get myself some water because I was thirsty. And the time that I was coming out of the eating place, I saw a man. He was in a car. He called me, but I tried to ignore him. But you know, he looked so gentle and serious. So I just had to go there and listen to whatever he had to tell me. He told me that he liked my height and he wanted to sponsor me to South Africa. He wanted me to be a famous model. Then I wanted to refuse, but he convinced me to say I'm beautiful and I'm going to make it to go to the Miss World. And then after 3 days, he organized for an air ticket. And I prepared myself and went to the airport. And after we arrived in South Africa, there were some men waiting for us who were wearing spectacles, sunglasses. Then they drove us to a nice place inside South Africa. Then after we reached there, they gave us rooms each. Because the time that I reached South Africa, there were some other girls who were waiting for us. They looked stranded, but I didn't know that we were in the same group.
So they take us from Pakistan, they give us passport of Afghan, and they told us you should explain your name, Harun Wardak, and this one Mr. Shahid, this one Mr. Ziyarat Gul. So they tell us if a person want to ask from you what is your name in between the way, so you should say Harun Wardak, Mr. Shahid, and Gul Ziyarat. Before we don't know each other, when these Pakistani people take us, then they pick us from Pakistan to Dubai, then from Dubai to Nairobi, Kenya. Then from Nairobi they take us to Zimbabwe, Harare. Then from Zimbabwe, Harare they take us to this Lusaka.
The people organized everything. Were like they wanted us to feel at home. They brought us food. They gave us some pocket money, and they got our passports because they wanted to get our documents and everything. Because they said that as long as we make it, we'll go very far as America.
From 12 March up to 25th March, we eating very well and very good things. Even they brought for us about 5 goats and sheep.
Child trafficking is very sophisticated and unique problem because like the earlier you asked on who is involved, it's a serious link because it starts from the community and it goes through the hand of maybe the businessmen and women who hands them over to maybe a potential businessman who runs that business. And you know, in some European countries, to them, trafficking is not a problem, like you consider in Zambia. So really, as Zambians, we're trying to fight these problems. When they come to us, it's quite sophisticated and how to even retrieve these cases and how to work, like the Irish issue. Like Mr. Kanoka was saying, they come with their own counselors. Who is YWCA to handle these cases? Because they know these counselors are not even, trained in how to handle the child trafficking. And to them, it's not an issue. Because, a lot of people who are involved are the big people, very big people. People have got money, who are widely connected, and that's the potential business.
But like the girls who come in from Congo, mostly they're running away from wars, and conflicts and things like that. And destination, most of these girls who are coming from Congo, they would rather stay here for a short time, but mostly they prefer to go to South Africa, where they feel they can get better chances of a better living. But the case is that when they get to South Africa, it's the same issue. They are involved in sex work. They are involved in prostitution, and they are really ill-treated. We have had a case of one of the girls who came from Congo, was with us at Tasinta. She managed to get to South Africa. The recent stories we get is that she was killed in her room by the people who abused her and did all sorts of funny things to her.
Because where those children are taken in Europe, they are put in brothels where they are exposed to different men, they develop HIV, AIDS, and the end result is death. Who benefits from their labor is those selfish individuals who are using them.
I came to my room and slept, and I heard a knock on my door. Then I opened the door, certain man came in. He came with magazines and everything. So he told me that he was very interested in me because I looked so tall and slim and I had a nice structure for a model, and he wanted to like teach me some tactics of being a great model. Then he showed me some magazines, and then he started modeling, teaching me how to model, showing me all the tricks on stage, and then he taught me to strip, because he was saying that all the models, like when they're on stage, they have to strip, and then everybody has to see their bodies. Then after that, he told me to say, okay, I was a bit shy. Then he said he wanted to give me a tablet so that I can be so that I can't feel shy. Then I looked at the tablet, and then I took it. And that tablet, I started feeling dizzy, After that, he started kissing me. Then I told him to stop, because I expected him to teach me how to do the modeling issue and everything. So he insisted, and he started kissing me. I tried to scream, no one came. He raped me, and then he went away.
The media has got a role to set an agenda, and that agenda setting has got power to influence the opinion of the people towards that agenda. If they make it a priority in their newspapers, on their radio stations, in their television station programs, it will force the government to enact a law against human trafficking. And then there will be stiffer punishments for human traffickers. And once you jail 5 or 6 people to 100 years in imprisonment for trafficking in human beings, they will stop.
You see, in countries out there where child trafficking is rife, there are non-governmental organizations that specialize in doing this, in putting together information on child trafficking. And they have cultivated the media and sensitized the media, to the point where now the media have come to realize that, oh, this is a big issue. Now, the media in this country has not been sensitized to that problem. And in fact, if you asked an average journalist in this country, chances are that they will tell you that it's a minor problem, or they don't know whether it even exists. So we would like to urge these non-governmental organizations whose core business, is that of children, to have specialized units within, their organizations and interrogate this question of child trafficking. Is it indeed there? If you asked me whether there's child trafficking in this country, I'll tell you I don't know.
If we were to compile statistics, we compile statistics in relation to a prescribed offense, okay? And trafficking in Zambia, there is nowhere where it stands as an offense in our penal code. So we can't, at the end of the year when you're compiling statistics and say, and just come with that trafficking, so many, we can't. But these, whatever happens, the mode of how they are going, what, constitutes what? Trafficking. But we normally maybe just charge these people with some offenses that might help us maybe get a conviction. Like for the girls that went to Ireland, the people that were involved were charged with, I think it's abduction and defilement, okay? Because the girls were 13 and 14.
Until society itself sees child labor as a particular problem, as a huge problem, like they see it with HIV and AIDS, then it will never be relevant to the media, because we just reflect what the society wants. And for as long as society keeps quiet about that problem, we don't have a basis, do you understand? We don't have a basis on which to bombard them with information they don't want.
The cases we have dealt with at Jacinta with the Congolese girls, We went to the Congolese embassy to try to find out how they can go back to their country. I must be very honest with you, we didn't get any help from them. Because they say they have got big problems of Congolese refugees coming into this country. So the best place you can go and seek help for these girls is the UNHCR. We need to carry out massive awareness campaigns about the existence of the problems and caution parents and children on the dangers of traveling out of the country. I'll give you an example of the same children who were taken to Dubai. The mother was so happy when the child went to Dubai. She came to see me showing off, says, now all my problems are solved. My child is going to work for this construction company in Dubai. So now, Mrs. Piri, I'll be a very happy woman. I'll even bring you a gift. Because she truly believed the child was going to work in a construction company.
But I must say that it's not an easy thing to deal with people that traffic the children, because when we were trying to apprehend the others at night in Kamala, we were purported to be having some weapons, and the other people, the perpetrators actually had phoned the firing squad to say there are people in Kamala who are trying to steal. And fortunately, the position where they had given them, we were not in that particular area. We moved it out. So when they arrived there, they didn't find their fellow police officers. Because at that point, they realized that actually they were not thieves, but people were trying to track the perpetrators. So it's such a dangerous event. It's such a dangerous issue when you're trying to track the perpetrators. A scenario of an example of the one which we have. I think Harun would tell you exactly how he managed to come out from that, from some of these people, how he ran away from these people.
Okay, sir, now I'm going to show to you people from which place I ran away and how is this house in which area. Now I'm going to show to you people. Yeah, this is where I ran away from this place to go for UNICEF. So I take one chair and put in the ground, in the floor. So I climb in this chair. So I broke the roof with my own legs. So that's why I broke the roof of this Kafiwe East's home. So I ran away from this place.
So you were in short trafficking too?
Yeah, in trafficking, human trafficking, which I can say in simple meaning human smuggling.
I escaped from the hotel and took a walk in the streets. I met a certain a Zambian man. I told him everything. Then he was so willingly to bring me back to Zambia. Then he asked me for my passport. Then that's when I remembered that I left my passport behind.
Can you explain to us what happened to him?
Kamas kamati khamrat lo poishwi baki de wakidim da smadato posta khabrano no sivin tor da khabro kono.
They're saying in 25th March when they take us from this Makeni room, so they take us to one guest house. So after this they give us Singapore books and they told us his own real name is Shukrullah. They told them you should say your name Mr. Ziyarat Gol in the passport. Even they give him ticket of British Airways. So when they went to the airport, in the airport this boy was passed, so this one is failed. When this one is failed, so this one is also show this one for immigration. This is my friend. So now they captured. After this, they took him to police headquarters in Lusaka, the police station. So and they spent about 2 days in the police station. So after this, they brought him into Kamwala prison. They stay in the Kamwala prison about 54 days.
They are not criminals, they are victims whom they need to be protected. They need protection, and it is our duty as citizens, it is our duty as parents to protect them. But putting them in cells, putting them in prison is not an answer. God should have said who actually was involved and try to track the people that were involved rather than take the children into prison and keep them in prison for almost a month.
From this room, one Zambian black man come to sit in the car and went with us to the airport. So they give us passport and tickets, everything, which is, I think this one is the owner of this room, which he is also including in this case.
So have they arrested these people?
No, these people were not arrested. We just want to deal with them. The government should catch these people, and another time should not become problem for UNICEF people and for this government of Zambia. Government should catch these people. This
14.
one is 14 years old.
And you?
I am 15 years old.
And you?
16 years old.
Oh, so you're very young.
Yeah, you're very young. So it is our own mistake, because if we come from our own country for money, we should go to UK and make money to send for our own people. But we didn't know about this human trafficking and this human smuggling. So now we know every child should not come from outside his own home, even from outside the town, even from outside the country. All situation is just like us, which this two is staying in Kamwala prison about 54 days. And I stay about 45 days in this one room, which is not good. Even the people is not bringing for me bread.
By force or deceit, or taking a child from his or her community to a completely different geographical location, be it within the country or across borders, for the purpose of work. Now, children being trafficked often end up in prostitution, but there may also be other forms of child labour. So these are some of the worst forms of child labour that are very prevalent in sub-Saharan Africa today.
So it's a complex phenomenon, child labour, and widespread. And as you know, the root causes of child labour are poverty. As long as poverty will be not reduced or alleviated, I am afraid child labour will continue to prevail. We have also the phenomenon of HIV/AIDS education system. And unfortunately, children are the future of the nation.
Our cooperating partners are working very well, and would like to encourage them that they should go on in their invaluable work, so that in future we could have Zambia, which is basically free of child labor, but socialized children, of course, and that we have a productive country with the children who are elite, instead of taking away their talent when they are very young.